We have a public health disaster in the making right now, and it's all because of Trump's authoritarianism. I'm going to explain it to you. Right now, May 2025, measles, hepatitis, salmonella, and listeria are spreading in the United States. You might be saying, David, sir, with total respect and tears in my eyes, what are you talking about? I haven't heard of that. The reason that you haven't heard about it is that the CDC, the agency that's supposed to keep us informed and help doctors and warn parents and give guidance, is barely saying a word. There aren't comprehensive updates going out. There's no alerts and health warnings. The CDC's newsletters have stopped. Their social media channels have gone nearly silent. They've missed publishing their own flagship disease report, the Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, for the first time in over 60 years. So you would be right to ask, what the hell is going on here? What's going on is that since Donald Trump returned to office in January, his administration has slashed thousands of jobs at the CDC. Entire teams have been fired, including the people who handled public communications, social media, health alerts. The CDC can't post to its own Facebook account, to its own Instagram account, because the people who had the passwords are gone. And the kicker is that even when the CDC does try to get a message out, it has to be approved by, you know who, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the vaccine conspiracy guy who has somehow ended up as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. So instead of telling you what foods might be contaminated, where is measles spreading, how do you prevent it, get a vaccine, how to protect your kids from hepatitis, the CDC's social media is posting vague fluff about Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s travel schedule. It's not a mistake. This is the plan. This is what they do. Step one, sabotage the agency. Look at the Postal Service. Republicans hated that the U.S. Postal Service was a functioning public service. So they defund it. They cut routes. They put Louis DeJoy in charge, who seems to not even like the Postal Service, force them to prepay decades of pensions. And then you go, look, it's not working. Let's privatize the thing. That's not incompetence. That's proactive sabotage. Same thing with public transit. Gut funding to public transit, complain when the trains and buses aren't on time, and then hand giant contracts to private rideshare companies that don't serve low-income neighborhoods and don't care about accessibility. Or the IRS. Republicans gutted the IRS for years. They laid off auditors. They froze hiring. They made it harder to enforce tax laws. And then they pointed at rich people not paying taxes and saying, look, the IRS is broken. Let's cut even more and make it easier for the richest to continue avoiding taxes. Of course it's broken. You broke the thing. And finally, they do it with public schools. Starve them of funding, overload them with standardized testing and various requirements, force them to fire teachers, and then say, these schools really aren't working well. Let's do charter schools. Let's do voucher programs. Let's promote private schools. So that's the process. Step one, make it work like crap. Step two, complain it's not working. Step three, say, we shouldn't even be funding this. Let's just privatize. So they're doing the same thing with public health. Gut the CDC, make it non-functional, turn around and say, it's bloated, it's useless, let's shut it down. And the most depressing part is that voters keep falling for it. People will get sick, some will die. As long as their side wins, a huge part of the country will cheer it and go, yeah, the CDC was just so bad on COVID. I'm glad it's failing. Americans will choose to suffer as long as they think it's angering the left. And this is how democracy breaks down. It's how a country lets public health collapse in real time because there's a political movement, MAGA, that is more interested in controlling the message than protecting people's lives. So we've got to live with the consequences, and people keep falling for it. Now, that's the Republican model. They're applying it federally. What can you do? I don't want to encourage people to abandon red states, but the blue, well-funded, functioning states have their own versions of the CDC that they can't do everything the CDC does, but they can at least work to keep people informed. Listeria, salmonella, measles, whatever the case may be. So I'm not saying go and move to a blue state, but there is no doubt that in a sense, blue state governments are a sort of bulwark against the insanity that we are seeing at places like the CDC. Are you considering moving? I'd love to hear from you if you are. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with two special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym. And even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.